Right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we've got a 4-rounder for you here. We're going to be doing 4 rounds of 300-meter run, 10 box overs, jumping or stepping, 15 calories on the bike, and 15 kettlebell swings. And we may be looking at this thinking, I don't have the space to run. I don't have a box to jump or step. I don't have a bike for sure. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. And the first move that we're going to do is reverse plank ups, which is where we are on the ground, legs out in front, and then we are going to squeeze those glutes and get the hips as high as they'll go, like this. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those reverse plank ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse plank ups together. Now, it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrists for us, in which case we may choose to do glute bridges instead, which is where we're laying on our back, just like Iron Man Dean, pulling the feet in close to the hips, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips as high as we can in the air, getting higher and higher each rep. But if we are doing the reverse plank up as prescribed, once again, we have those hands to the side, legs out in front, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips as high as they'll go, getting higher and higher each rep. And we want to think fast up, hold the top, slow on the way back down. So good job on whatever version of the reverse plank up or the glute bridge works for you. Next, we're going to do the dynamic calf stretch. And let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 2 reps of this calf stretch on each side for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some dynamic elbows like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the dynamic calf stretch on each side. Now, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on that wrist, in which case we may choose to do this off of an inclined surface, just like we see Betty Boop doing here. It could be off a counter, off a sofa, or even off the wall. But we are going to pike that hip back, bend the one knee, and press that back heel into the ground. But if we are doing this off the ground as prescribed, then we are piking that hip up, bending the one knee, pressing the back heel into the ground, holding that for about 2 seconds before switching sides. So good job on this dynamic calf stretch, whichever version works better for you. Next, we've got some good mornings. Let's go ahead and have Betty Boop demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the good morning is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 good mornings together. So on these good mornings, we are going to fold those arms across the chest. And we are going to initiate by setting those hips back, slight bend in the knees, get that chest to just about parallel, and then we're going to squeeze the glutes until we get all the way back up to a fully standing locked out position. So good job on these good mornings. Next, we've got some high knees with a hip circle, and those are going to look like this. And it could be that, hey, balance is an issue, which is fine. We can hold on to a nearby object for assistance like this. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that's going to be a forward arm raise with a lateral return like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of the high knee with the hip circle on each side. So as described, we are getting the knee up above hip level, circling that around, which opens up the hip flexors, which is going to be especially important for all the running that we're going to be doing today. And as we mentioned before, if we need to hold on to a close by object for support, that is completely fine as well. So good job on these high knees, whichever version works better for us. Next, we've got some reverse lunges. Let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 2 reverse lunges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse lunge is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse lunges together, 5 on each side. So it could be that, hey, getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we have some options here. We can do some assisted lunges, holding on to a nearby object for assistance. And let's have Betty Boop demonstrate so we can hold on to a close by piece of furniture or a counter or whatever the case. And then we can get that knee all the way down to the ground and stand that up. Or if it's a challenge for us to get that knee to the ground, even with assistance, we can do some step downs, which is where we're standing on top of a footstool or a box or something like that. And then we alternate legs while keeping the top leg on top of the box, stepping back, standing back up on top. But if we're doing the reverse lunge as prescribed, then we're taking a nice big step back, getting that knee to the ground, and then we're getting back up to a fully standing position. And so good job here on these reverse lunges, whichever version works better for us. Next, I'd like us to grab a super light kettlebell, 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light kettlebell, then any other light option will do, preferably something with a handle today, such as an empty purse, an empty laundry detergent jug, or a water jug. Or if we don't have anything with a handle, sure, it could be a light dumbbell, a pillow, a shoe, a teddy bear, whatever the case. So with this light object in hand, we're going to do some sumo deadlifts. And let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 2 reps of the sumo deadlift for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the sumo deadlift is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the sumo deadlift together. So on this sumo deadlift, that object is going to start on the ground in between the feet. And we've got those hips super low, but the chest is up, shoulders are back, and we're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in as we brace the core, driving the ground away until we get to a fully standing, locked out position. And then we're bracing that core on the way back down as well. And so good job here on these sumo deadlifts. And finally, in the activation phase, we're going to do some Russian swings. And let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 3 Russian swings for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the Russian swing is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 Russian swings together. So on this Russian swing, we are going to initiate by sending that object back between the legs, and then we are powering this with the hips. We are squeezing those glutes, popping that object up to about face level. And notice this is not an arm thing, this is a hip thing. And so that's why we are throwing it back, popping those hips, getting it up to about face level. And so good job here on these Russian swings. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 4 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the run. Now, if you happen to have 100, 200, 300 meters that you can run to the halfway point and come back, I'd like you to go ahead and hit a warm-up run just so that we can see how long that takes. We're looking for this 300-meter run to take us about 90 seconds, give or take. Now, most of us don't have the space to run outside. We're going to be doing some form of shuttle runs. And so just like we see Ironman Dean doing here, we could either run 25 feet down and back or 7.5 meters down and back. And each time you get back to where you came from, that counts as 1 shuttle run. In the workout, we're going to be doing 15 sets of these. Now, it could be that we need to just do our runs in place. Then just like Betty Boop, we could do 20 shuffle steps. Or if we want an in-between option, we can actually do sets of 20 high knees in place. Let's have Ironman Dean demonstrate some high knees. You're going to count 20 reps. And after every set of 20 high knees, you can either change direction or use the finger counting method. And that's how we can count these shuttle runs in place. Seated position. We can do 20 sets of alternating arm raises. And after every set of 20, we clap those hands. So if you haven't done so yet, let's all hop in here. Let's do 5 more shuttle runs, choosing the option that's good for us. And so we have lots of different options here, depending on our circumstances, different levels of impact that we can take. And so if we're confident that we can run the 25 feet down and back each time, let's do that option. Otherwise, let's do some form of in-place shuttle runs. Or we have the seated variations as well as needed. So good job on all these. The second move that we are doing today is box overs, whether we choose to jump or step. So I'd like us to get a nice sturdy box or other type of sturdy surface that we feel comfortable stepping up onto, potentially jumping up onto. And this needs to be a comfortable height that we feel confident using and a sturdiness that is appropriate. It is not going to move whether we are jumping or stepping. And with this object in place, let's have Iron Man Dean demonstrate 2 reps of these step overs for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the box overs, we're going to get a light dumbbell. And those box overs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 steps of the box overs. Now, it could be that, you know what, I just don't have the space to step down on the other side, in which case that's fine. You know, in the case of perhaps a step ladder or stairs, or maybe a chair secured against a wall, these are all examples of options which we'll just do step ups. And let's not worry about getting to full extension at the top today in order to mimic the feel of actually doing that step over. Now, it could be that, okay, you know what? I don't feel comfortable jumping up to a very high height, but maybe I can jump to even a low plate. Like we see Betty Boop doing, we can have a low plate or those lines, and we can jump to that object. And even if it's just an inch or 2 high, that's something that we can choose to do here. But in the case of Iron Man Dean, perhaps stepping over is the better option for us. And so whatever option that we choose to use, let's make sure that we feel comfortable with it. And so good job on these box overs, whether we are stepping or jumping, whichever works better for us. The third move that we are doing in today's workout is the bike. So if you happen to have some type of exercise bike, what I'd like you to do is to hop on that bike and let's get a warm-up ride here for about a minute. We want to make sure that the seat is set to a height that is appropriate for us and that all the settings are correct. And, you know, if we have a screen, we're going to get that screen calibrated or otherwise figure out how we're measuring our effort. Some people choose to measure the amount of pedals that they stroke on the bike. And so for a traditional bike like this, for most people, about 4 pedals on the right foot per calorie is a pretty good conversion there. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to do a body weight option for the bike that combines mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. So 1 mountain climber and 1 plank shoulder tap on each side equals a calorie on our body weight bike. And that is going to look like this. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each calorie is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 5 calories on our body weight bike. Now, it could be that, hey, doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge for me, in which case we can choose to do these off of an inclined surface, just like we see Betty Boop doing here. We can do some inclined knees to elbow, followed by inclined plank shoulder taps on each side. But whatever the case, let's choose the option that fits our circumstances. So good job on this bike. And then the fourth and final move that we are doing in today's workout is the kettlebell swing, as in the full kettlebell swing overhead. And to help us out with what that looks like, let's go ahead and have Ironman Dean demonstrate 3 reps of the full kettlebell swing. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the kettlebell swing is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the kettlebell swing together. So on this kettlebell swing, we are initiating by sending that back between the legs, just like we were doing with the Russian swings in the warm-up. And then we're still powering this mostly with the hips and the legs. We are popping that up, punching the head through, getting those arms into the ears at the top. Now, if because of shoulder issues, we end up having to do some Russian swings, just getting it up to about face level, then that is fine for today. But otherwise, I'd rather us use a light weight and go overhead as opposed to using a heavier weight and then not struggling to get it into that overhead position. Of course, any circumstances aside. And so good job here on whatever version of the swing is better for us. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to that kettlebell swing to either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 10 practice kettlebell swings at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout today. No need to rush to a super heavy weight. But if we have not been earning badges or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super lightweight that we were just using in the warm-up, 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less, is going to be more than enough for us today. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. This is not a short one today. We want a long list of jams that are going to keep us motivated all throughout this sweat fest. So what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 4-round workout with 4 different movements. There's a lot going on here. It's easy to lose track of where we are, who we are, what's coming up next, unless we're a teacher's pet and you know who you are. If you are, let's go ahead and show that whiteboard on screen with the workout and whatever great handwriting or art that you have. And let's take this teacher's pet picture. So here we go. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 4-round workout of 15 sets of shuttle runs, 10 box overs, 15 calories on the bike, followed by 15 kettlebell swings. Now, if we do happen to have space to run outside, let's scale the run distance accordingly. We're looking for these runs to take us about 90-ish seconds, give or take. So if 300 meters is a lot to get done in that time, let's scale that down to 200 or even less as needed. But most of us are doing the 15 sets of shuttle runs, picking the option that's better for our circumstances, whether it's the 15 sets of 25 feet down and back, the 15 sets of the 20 high knees, or even from the seated position, or we have the shuffle steps. Let's pick the option that's good for us. On the box overs, safety first. Let's make sure whatever surface we're using is of a good, comfortable height and a sturdiness that we feel comfortable with that's not going to move, whether we're jumping or stepping. On the bike, most of us are doing the 15 sets of the mountain climber plank shoulder taps per round, whether we're doing that off the ground or off the incline. If we happen to have some type of exercise bike, we're looking for that 15 calories to take us about a minute of time, give or take. And so let's scale those calories accordingly, or let's measure a number that we can hustle to hit in about a minute's time. We want to pick that number from the start instead of just kind of throwing it in the air and sees what happens. We want to manage what we measure. So let's pick a number that we can shoot to complete in about a minute's time. And then we have the 15 kettlebell swings overhead if possible, or Russian swings up to face level if necessary. But we're doing hopefully 15 of those all unbroken without putting that weight down. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through these 4 rounds of 15 sets of shuttle runs, 10 box overs, 15 sets of mountain climber plank shoulder taps, and 15 kettlebell swings. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight Ironman Dean to get us going. So here we go, guys. 15 shuttle runs, 10 box overs, 15 calories on the bike, and then 15 swings. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these runs. Noxie approved runs. Always making sure we're doing all the reps. And we have lots of different options here. Love to see Mighty Mouse up and out and about, doing most of these workouts from the standing position today. And we've got Betty Boop on these shuffle steps. So lots of different options for everyone based on your circumstances. And as previously mentioned, we are looking to complete this first set of runs in about 90-ish seconds, give or take. And so we can continue to evaluate throughout the workout and see which version or style of movement is better for us. But nice work so far. Good pacing. After these shuttle runs, we're going to move on to those box overs. A good breathing, good push. Let's get through this. And right on cue, we've got Betty Boop jumping for joy on this box. We've got Ironman Dean on that box. And we've got Mighty Mouse as well, stepping up her game, doing these step ups here. So great work, guys. Great breathing, great push. Betty Boop done with that 10, and now onto the bike, doing the 10 sets of incline mountain climber plank shoulder taps. And we've got Mighty Mouse doing the bike here. So rolling into these calories, 15 sets of the down and backs. Iron Man Dean, no screen, no problem, counting the pedals. But great work here, guys. Let's breathe, let's push, let's go, let's go, let's go. And we've got Betty Boop on these swings, closing out round one. Throwing that back, popping those hips, using the power of the hips and the legs. Iron Man Dean done with that bike onto these swings. And Mighty Mouse right on cue, finishing that bike, about to hit these swings here. So love to see all these different options, but everyone on track to finish within today's target window. And the target window is nothing more than the best way to know if we've made the right choices in today's workout. How does the target window work? Well, as we earn badges, we can add some weight and perhaps do some more advanced movement options. But how do we know if we're choosing the right ones? We want to pick the right weights and do the right movement options that allow us to push and finish within the target window of time. Not too much over, not too much under. That's how we know we had an appropriate level of challenge for ourselves. And we are pushing and we are breathing. Those who are experienced with this program know that this is not a short workout. We have to pace this race. So we want to start strong, but we want to start smart. We want to pick a pace that we can hold on to. So let's do our thing. And let's not be afraid to reevaluate as needed, but hopefully we've made the right choices from the beginning that we can stick with and continue to push deep into the run on this second round. And on that note, yes, we've got Mighty Mouse already on these boxes. Iron Man Dean on the box for round two. So let's keep breathing, let's keep pushing. Betty Boop jumping for joy, just finished that off, and now onto the bike for round two. Mighty Mouse as well on this bike for round two. Iron Man Dean, just a couple steps to go, and then about to hop on that bike for round two. So nice breathing, nice pacing, nice push. And as we are getting through this bike here, we're gonna get ready to hold on to that kettlebell and hopefully go unbroken in this round as well. We got Betty Boop grabbing that kettlebell. Popping that up with the power of the hips. Head through, arms back. Mighty Mouse as well on these swings. So nice work here. Let's breathe. Iron Man Dean done with that bike. About to get on these swings. So close out round 2, still on track to finish within the target window. So Mighty Mouse on this round 3 here. Betty Boop as well on this round 3. Iron Man Dean finishing off the swings. And then now diving into round 3. So awesome work. Let's push, let's go, let's move. Everyone pacing this race. We are breathing, we are pushing. This round 3 is a pivotal round here. It's not quite the last round, but we're already deep into this. It's easy to lose focus. But no, let's stay on track. Let's stay determined to hold on to this pace. We're not blasting yet, but we're not slipping and sliding either. We are holding on, we are maintaining. So nice work here. Let's go, let's go. Mighty Mouse done with that run. Stepping onto this box. Betty Boop almost done with the run. About to jump for joy. Onto these jumps here, and we've got Iron Man Dean. Just a couple more runs. And there goes Dean. So nice work. Let's keep pushing. We got Mighty Mouse already on this bike. Betty Boop got ahead of herself with the swings there. Yep, about to hit that bike. Iron Man Dean finishing off these boxes and about to hop on that bike as well. We are pacing this race here, guys. Not a short one, but we are as much in this physically as mentally. So pushing along, staying focused, keeping our head in the game. Nice work here. Let's go, let's go. Mighty Mouse blasting away these swings. Betty Boop, yep, now on the swings for real. using those hips, popping. Ironman Dean joining on this kettlebell swing party here. And we've got Mighty Mouse now diving into this last round, blast round. So we are pushing this last round, doing our thing. This is where we empty the tank. This is where we push hard. And we also want to be smart. We do realize these are long rounds here, so we don't want to kill ourselves on the run and have nothing left for anything else. But maybe we can shave a little bit of time off this run, shave a little bit of time off the box, a little bit of time off the bike, and then finish strong on that kettlebell. So let's push, let's do our thing here. We are breathing, we are pushing. Nice work, let's go, let's go, let's go. On track to finish within the window. Finishing off this run, heading on to the box. Mighty Mouse finishing with the box, already heading on the bike. So nice work, let's go, let's go. We're digging deep, we are pushing. Betty Boop, focus on each and every jump. Dean on these overs. So nice work here, let's push, let's go. And then after that bike, we are gonna hold on to that kettlebell, swing to the finish. We're gonna hit that buzzer, we're gonna yell time, we're gonna cheer on our family. But let's keep pushing through these elements. Finish with the box, let's get on that bike. Mighty Mouse on this last set of swings here. Moving with determination. And there goes Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Betty Boop just a couple swings away. Ironman Dean killing it on the bike. Let's keep pushing, bracing that core. Couple more swings. And there goes Betty Boop across the finish line. Ironman Dean, last set of swings here, home stretch. Let's hear it for Ironman Dean. Holding on to that bell, doing his thing.
Go Ironman Dean!
And there goes Dean across the finish line. Well, that was crazy as always. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. Stretch that we're going to do today is the Samson stretch, which is a nice long lunge overhead like this. And then optionally, we can twist toward the front knee. If this is a bit much for us, then hey, that's cool. We can do a seated twist like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then yes, let's just twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's shift into a half split. So we're going to shift those hips back, straighten out that leg, lower the chest toward that knee. And let's not bend the leg just to reach there. Let's keep the leg straight and then only bend as far as our chest will go. And if we're doing this off our knee, then, hey, we can just do a single leg forward fold and reach forward like this. But let's hear first from Betty Boop. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get our right arm up and pull back like this. What is your high-low buffalo, Betty Boop?
Okay, my high were the kettlebell swings. I like those. And I didn't have a low. My buffalo was, I almost skipped a bike round. And I just thought, what happened here? This is awfully short. I was already going to the just because I like them, I guess, kettlebell swings, but I went back and did them. So it was a great WOD, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. And hey, that just shows the importance, even if we are a teacher's pet to the max and we have the workout written down, it's still easy to lose track of things every once in a while. That is the power of the group. We look left, we look right, we see what's going on, and it helps us stay on track. But good job correcting yourself and great performance and finish. Let's go ahead and Samson stretch on the other side. We're going to get into a nice long lunge on this side. Optionally, we can twist toward that knee. Or hey, if we're just trying to stay off the knees, that's cool. We can do a twist in the other direction now. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're now twisting the other way, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the kettlebell swing. I didn't have a low, but the buffalo was, even though it was 4 rounds, it really was a workout. You had to pace yourself, especially starting off with the run in the beginning. You might get tired towards the end, so you had to pace yourself.
Pacing is the name of the game, and you are absolutely right. And you won the pacing game for sure. Your first round, you finished within a certain amount of time, but then you crept up, sneakily took the lead, and held on to it for the rest of the time. So good job, Mighty Mouse. And let's go ahead and now switch into the split on this side. So we're going to straighten this leg and lower the chest toward that knee. Once again, let's not bend the leg there. Let's just keep the leg straight and then lower the chest slowly, however far down it will go. And if we're trying not to be on the knee, then hey, we can do a seated forward fold on the other leg like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Iron Man Dean. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get the other arm up and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
So the high, I enjoyed the workout, and so there wasn't really a low. Well, the low was that I might have lost count when I was running because of my system for counting. So yeah, because that's my low. The buffalo, these workouts, even though if you've got like upper body problems, like a bad shoulder or something, these is all focused on the lower body, so you could still do them.
And I love that mentality. We're here to just show up and do what we can, make smart choices, of course, which is what you did. But movement is medicine, and we continue to move. We get the blood flow. It helps those feel good hormones as well, which all helps the recovery and adaptation process. So good job, Dee. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. This sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew!
Fit crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.